We now have pricing and packaging for the 2024 Mazda CX-30. Also tell you which trim levels you should be buying because the prices are going up. I just reviewed the CX-30 Turbo a few weeks back. The thing's a rocket. It's super fast. There's nothing really in the segment that competes with it in terms of acceleration, power, all-wheel drive. Even though it does seem to be bogged down in the front when you throw it through the turns, it doesn't feel as planted as the lower to the ground Mazda 3 Turbo, for example. But yeah, straight line acceleration, that thing's a rocket. And really, there's nothing else that competes with it unless you look into the luxury segment. But even then, you have to look at the Germans, because if you look at the Japanese, well, Acura doesn't have a Mazda CX-30 sort of sized vehicle. Lexus has the UX, and they still haven't upgraded the Lexus UX powertrain to the 196 horsepower variant that the Prius has, the Corolla Cross has. So that vehicle is kind of a joke, even though it's a really good car. It's just kind of falling behind, and the CX-30 is one of the best luxury. I would call it luxury tier because the interior is just so nice. Compact crossovers on the market. So make sure to watch my review on it. But let's get into what the difference is for 2024, and then we'll follow up with the pricing. We have a new turbo carbon trim level, and it combines bespoke exterior styling with refined turbocharged performance. It is the entry-level turbo model now. There is available 10.25-inch infotainment display featuring wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. So previously it was wired only, to my knowledge. And for 2024, we have a new starting price, about $25,000. Now I think that's before destination. So this thing is starting to get more and more pricey, like a premium car. But for 2024, the CX-30 gains additional packaging options. Turbo carbon model I just talked about. We have the inclusion of USB-C inputs and, of course, that newly available 10.25-inch large center display with touchscreen Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So previously, it did not have touch capability. Now it's kind of pushed back into the dash a little bit. So it originally wasn't supposed to be a touchscreen at all. Now they're building in touchscreen capabilities to that 10.25-inch screen. So that is a huge improvement. So you're not locked into only the rotary dial. Rotary dial works pretty good for the base Mazda software, even though the Mazda, it's not my favorite. Touch is a lot easier, more intuitive with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compared to the rotary dial in my experience. All right, safety has been improved as well. So the 2024 CX-30 features rear seat alert, and blind spot monitor with rear cross traffic alert is now standard in the CX-30 lineup. The most expensive 2.5 Turbo Premium Plus gains the newly available cruising and traffic support technology that originally debuted in the CX-90. That is great, but that's unfortunate, in my opinion, that it's locked in only to the most expensive model. That's frustrating. Look, the new Corolla has, and I think probably the Corolla Cross, which is going to be in the same segment, I think that has the 3.0. Corolla Cross looks like it features the 3.0, which is the newest Toyota safety sense, which is going to absolutely leave every single CX-30 in the dust. But a lot of people don't care about the safety technology. The passive safety is what's important here for maybe some of those people. Maybe don't care about the best lane centering and radar cruise control. But in my opinion, it is definitely lagging behind the competition in incorporating it across the lineup. That is unfortunate. The base models still have 191 horsepower and 186 pound-feet of torque, which I think is pretty. I mean, I'm testing a Kia Seltos right now, and I'll be honest, I don't like the turbo engine setup on it. It's very turbo laggy. The transmission's really lethargic. It reminds me of the new Kona Turbo, which I don't recommend the new Turbo Kona. I would say get the 2-liter naturally aspirated. It's going to be a little bit more peppy with the CVT. Anyways, this is pretty much class leading with the base powertrain. So don't feel like you need to get that turbo, but that turbo is something special too, though. All right, I'm going to get into the pricing here because I'm going to tell you which grades you should be looking at the most here. Yes, the base trim level for the 2.5S went up $2,000. Actually, more than that. $2,050 or $2,045 or whatever. But you get blind spot monitor and rear cross traffic alert. Is that worth $2,000? Probably not. There are people that don't care for that technology and just want to have a CX-30. So it is what it is. I don't like to see the base price increase that much, but at least you're getting something for it. If we look at the next, the Select Sport goes up about $1,100. The S Preferred only goes up about $570, just quickly looking. So that would be an absolute recommendation because the price has not increased that much at all here. So that's great to see. The Carbon Edition, the non-turbo carbon, is also going to be a great buy. The S Premium has gone up about almost $1,000. You know, if you need to have those features, I get it. The Carbon Turbo is the only turbo I'm going to recommend here because it actually comes in cheaper compared to the entry-level Turbo Premium compared to last year. Yes, you're not going to get all the features that we see on the more expensive turbo models, but the powertrain is what you came here for, and you can get it for cheaper than last year. So Carbon Turbo is the most I would recommend spending here. Otherwise, you're getting into, CX-5 turbo territory, CX-50 turbo territory, and those are better vehicles for the money, I would say, when you're in the mid-30s. Again, the takeaway here, Carbon Turbo, big recommendation for me, as well as the S Preferred, and maybe the original Carbon Edition too, with the 2.5 liter naturally aspirated. Those are probably the most tantalizing packages here. The thing is, like, Mazda makes it hard. I'm not going to break down all the trim levels and what small differences there are between them. I'll put this link in the description below, but it is just there. Mazda is notorious, in my opinion, for having way too many trim levels. Let me know which trim level you'd be going for. Do you got to have the turbo? Are you okay with still arguably range and class leading entry-level powertrain that beats all the optional powertrains out? It's really a good package overall. The issues that I have with the CX-30 is that it's really, really small in the back seat. So if you're putting people back there, probably look at a CX-5 or CX-50. Fuel economy is not great on this thing. All-wheel drive is standard, and so as a result, adds weight. But that might be something you're looking for, is all-wheel drive. But unfortunately, no front-wheel drive options mean it is probably $1,000 to $2,000 more expensive starting out compared to where it could be if it was just front-wheel drive. Let me know if you want to see more Mazda pricing and packaging updates for 2024. I think we just did one fairly recently with the CX-5. And I hope Mazda has some fun stuff to show at the Tokyo Motor Show, which I'm heading to next month. So make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell icon so you don't miss my updates from me reporting on the all new updates from Mazda, Subaru, Toyota, Lexus, Honda, Nissan, all the Japanese manufacturers. I will be posting some really cool stuff for my coverage over in Tokyo. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day and peace.